Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the experiment number 3 of your Python programming. The aim of the program is write a program to implement the following using functions. So here from the statement, it is clear that we are going to use the functions in a Python. And the aim of there are two programs which we are going to cover it here. One is your recursive program to calculate the factorial of a number. Means here also a function, but the function is the recursive function and we have to perform the calculation of the factorial. We know calculate how to calculate the factorial of a number. In the previous practical under the title demonstration of the control statements, we have covered in the for loop how to calculate the factorial of a number. Second program, write a program using the functions to calculate the arithmetic operations. So here we write arithmetic, we have to use the arithmetic operators, but at the same time we should try to use the functions. So here whenever we are going to understand these two programs, before that some questions that might be clear to you, that what is functions, what is recursion, how to define a functions in Python and how to call a functions. So here we are aware of all these questions in the previous language. These questions it will remain same as the previous one. What is recursion? It is also same. Here there is a some syntax which have changed here in case of the Python. Here we'll see how to calculate, how to call a function. So my question to you, what is functions? Anyone unmute and reply, what is function?
A function is a block of code which runs when it is called.
Yes. Function is a block of code or function is a set of statement which has certain behavior which is defined by the user. Whenever you require you can call it and basically it will be executed. So basically what we can say the functions, a block of this statement which performs the certain task that has been specified by the user. For example, if you are writing a function add, it has the block of this statement based on the functions of addition, and it has the behavior of addition which has been defined by the user. It performs a particular task on it. This is your first question. Second, what is recursion?
A function to call itself.
When a function called itself is to be termed as the recursion. If you are defining a functions and we are not using any looping statement to call it repeatedly, but itself the function whenever itself calls again and again, so we can call it as the recursive. So whenever it is asked in the examination, write a program using the recursive means you should define a function in such a way that it will call itself again and again. There might be a terminating condition, otherwise it will go into the infinite loop. So whenever you are using any type of the recursion, first thing is that it should call itself again and again, but make sure that there should be a some terminating or the stopping condition which will stop your recursive function at some point, otherwise it may go into the infinite loop. So here we have understood what is function and what is recursion. Basically, we have recalled what is function and what is recursion. Now, next, we are going to understand the concept which are required related to your functions. So first thing is that what is the syntax in Python to define a function? So whenever you are going to define a function in Python, you should use the def keyword, def. This keyword should be used whenever you want to define any function. So def is the keyword, then function name, function underscore name is the name of the function which is defined by the user. We should follow the rules of the variable declaration, and here in bracket we have to pass the parameters if it is required, and if it is not required no need to pass a parameter. then colon sign. After that, we'll press enter. After some indentation, you will write a uh, documentation of your program, like your comment, and then it will be your statement. So this statement will be considered under your functions. So here what we have understood, the keyword def marks the start of the function. This one that should always be written whenever you want to define a function. A function name is unique identity that whenever you want to call it, that basically a particular function is to be called, and function naming follows the same rules of writing identifiers in Python. As I've said, whenever you want to define the name of the function, you should follow the rules of your identifier or the variable declaration. Next, third one, parameters or the arguments which we pass the value to the function. This is an optional. If you want to pass it, you can pass it. If it is not required, you keep it as the blank. But at the same time, here also you should not write anything. Then a colon mark at the end of the function header is to be included. So whatever statement you write after the indentation mark, it will be considered as part of your functions. So optional document string to describe what the function does. Here always try to write a document string, or you can say the documentation inside the comment to understand what is the statement you are trying to write it. One or more valid Python statement that make up the function body. Statement must have same indentation label, means basically four spaces. You should always make sure that at least some statement should be there inside your function which should follows the indentation mark, so it will this statement will be executed under your function. An optional return statement to the return value from the function. Likewise, in the previous we have used the some return statement under your function. Here also you are allowed to use it. So what we have understood basically here, whenever you want to define any function, you should use the def keyword, then function name, then parameter is an optional, then colon, then after that here you have to write a documentation and the statement that will be considered as the part of it. For example, you can see that def is the keyword, greet is the name of the function, and here we are passing one parameter name. Then colon indentation mark, we are writing some documentation. This function greets to the person passed in as parameters, and then after that we are printing hello, then name variable, then good morning. Hello and good morning, this is your string, and name is basically a name which is accepted by your function. So it will print output as hello and the name, then good morning. For example, if hello Abdullah, good morning, in this way it will go ahead. So here we have understood how to define a function in Python, which this question was there, how to define a function in Python. So we have understood how to define a function in Python. Now, how to call a functions? If you want to call any functions, likewise in the earlier language, what we are writing, name of the function followed by the parameters. So here the name of the function is greet. If you want to call a greet, you can write name of the functions, and it requires this parameter as name. So basically here you will also pass the name. So whenever you will call it, basically it will give you the output because it has this statement is to be executed under that particular function. So here also we have understood our last question, how to call a functions. So now we have understood what is function, what is recursion, how to define a function in Python, then how to call a function. You can use the return statement. Likewise, this one, as I have said, def suppose function absolute values to define inside that num parameter is accepted, then we are writing if num greater than equal to 0, return num, else return minus num. Means that it is also allowed to return a value from that particular. So how the function will work, whenever you are defining the functions, def function name, open and close brackets, then colon, then we are writing some statement. After the sum line, we are calling it here. Right. When once again we call the function name, then it will go under that statement which has to be part of it. Then it will start executing all the statement which comes under the function name. And when it is completed, once again control is transferred to the next line after the function called statement. In this way, it will executed all the statement inside your Python, which will jump from the calling towards your functions. Then after executing the set of the statement from the function, it comes back to the next line. Now we are going towards the program. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anyone take the responsibility to say yes or no about the screen visibility or the voice? Everyone rename yourself with roll number followed by name. The aim of the program is Python program to find the factorial of a number using recursion. So here we have understood recursion. Here we have understood how to define a functions, right? So now you can see to it here, def keyword is used to define a function. After that, we are writing recur under factorial, which should follow name of the function, which should follow the rules of your variable declaration. Here I require only one parameter as n, so here we are accepting as n. Then colon mark. After that, some indentation. Then you will write the sum document string or documentation part. Here we are writing functions to return the factorial of a number using recursion. It is enclosed inside the triple quote, so it will be considered as your um, comment. Then we are writing if n is equal to 1. This is your terminating condition. As I have said, every recursive function should have the terminating condition. If n is equal to 1, return n. Else, colon mark, then what? After that indentation, return n into recur underscore factorial. Once again, we are calling the functions, right? And at the same time, we are giving it n minus 1. First 4, then 3, then 2. In this way, it will go ahead. Here we are accepting input from the user. For that purpose, we are writing statement num is equal to int, and then input is the statement to accept the input, and it will be displayed as a prompt at the time of asking the input from the user. By using the input string, so we need to have the data using the integer. That's why it is to be used. And after that, here we are checking the number is negative or positive. If the number is less than 0, then we are printing sorry, factorial does not exist for the negative. If we know that if has if else as well as if elif else etc. Also, so here we are writing elif num equal to 0, then we are printing the factorial of 0 is 1. Else colon, then we are printing the factorial of num is, once again we are calling a recur underscore factorial. So first time whenever this program executed, it will execute this statement, then the control will be transferred here and it will perform the execution of this statement, then it will execute recur minus 1, and then continuously it will go into the recursive process once it will get this terminating condition. So in this way you will write a program of the Python. Now everyone turn on your camera and start executing the program. Hope everyone have understood.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir, is the comment compulsory in the
it is not compulsory. Comment is not compulsory, but always make a habit of writing the comment. Either you are studying or you are doing the job. In all the scenario, if you are writing a statement, then it will be easier for any person those who want to make the changes in your function. So if the thing is clear to everyone, for that purpose, you should always try to write a statement which will define what is the meaning of that function. That's it. So yeah, if you want to say compulsory or optional, I will say it is optional. Everyone turn on the camera and start executing. Rula, Tasneem and Sonu, turn on your camera. Ali, Uzair, Zaid, Zoya, Fahad and Shazia.
Log in through desktop.
Rename yourself with roll number followed by name. I will take your attendance from this participant list. Zoya Mansoori, Ruhullah Sheikh Ali, Anas Zaid.
Sir, can I share the screen? My program is over.
You done? Wait for 1 minute. Yes, Fahad, share your screen. Can you explain the program, Fahad? Fahad,
Yes, sir.
Fahad, can you share and once again explain the program?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Explain. Sir, we are taking a input in n variable, and we are defining a recursive function recfact, and it has a one parameter n. If n value is equal to 1, then we will return 1. Else we will going to multiply n with rect function rect underscore fact, and we were passing the value n minus 1 because the
Why
number
you are
we are going
writing
to
def?
def is a keyword for defining the function in Python.
What is n after rect
Uh,
underscore fact
it is a parameter.
parameter? So this parameter is compulsory or optional?
Optional.
Optional. Which is the terminating condition in your program?
If n is equal to 1,
Huh?
n is equal to 1.
Okay. What is the factorial of 0 generally?
0 is 1.
What is the factorial of 0? Don't consider about the program. I'm asking in general. What is the factorial of 0?
1.
Here, what is the output of 0?
I have not written
Can you
considered
run
that,
and show?
sir.
Hmm. Now check it
Sure,
and
sir.
try to find out this solution.
Okay, sir.
You understood my question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Try to find out the answer of this, where it will be whenever the value is 0.
Okay. Can I stop this, sir?
Okay. You stop sharing and solve it.
Yes.
Camera on रखो. Sonu, are you there? Ruhullah, Tasneem, Rishikesh, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Change your profile name with your roll number followed by name.
सर है 51 राहुल यादव.
हाँ तो 2 डिवाइस है क्या तुम्हारे पास?
हाँ सर, वो सेकंड डिवाइस शेयरिंग के लिए.
ओके गुड.
सर हो गया प्रोग्राम.
हो गया. नो शेयरिंग. स्क्रीन थोड़ा जूम करो. जूम योर स्क्रीन. Can you show your program? Show your program. Move to right side. Okay. Entire program. Go to the line 1. From line 1 show to From the starting, I can't see. I can see only from line 4. Line 1 से जाओ. Don't post your attendance in the chat box. So which is the terminating condition in your program?
Sir, return n or n is equal to 1.
Where is the recursive function?
Sir, factorial n minus 1. So the fact.
Fact. Why you are writing? What is the use of def keyword?
So def is used to define the function.
How many elif we can use inside our program?
Sir, as much we can.
Okay, good. Very good, Rahul. Now you stop sharing. Everyone turn on your camera and then start executing. If you have done, then you unmute and reply. I want everyone to execute and share your screen. Gupta Shivam, Ruhullah, Ali Kasi. Uzair and Zaid, open your camera. Ruhullah, Tasneem, Sonu, Rishikesh. Change your profile name with your roll number followed by name. I will take the attendance from the participant list.
Program completed, sir.
Wait for 1 minute. Guys. Ruhullah,
Yes, sir.
Ruhullah profile name change करो with roll number followed by name. Now who was sharing the screen first? It is mandatory for everyone to execute and share the screen.
So is my screen visible?
Yeah. What is this -1 -1? What is that? Yes.
So if number is less than 0, that is negative, so it must display sorry factorial does not exist for negative numbers.
So why use -1?
So because factorial of -1 does not exist.
So it gives -1 ना output.
Yes, so पहले बराबर आया था यहाँ पर.
Once again execute and check.
Sir, can I share the screen?
When you stop sharing, once again check, then come back.
Yes, sir.
It is 0 or O or what, something I will do. Gupta Shivam.
Yes, sir.
Then
No, sir.
Shadia.
Hello, sir.
Who is saying Anas?
Yes, sir. I'm done with my program, sir.
You share your screen.
Okay, sir. So can you see?
Wait, it is started. Yeah, I can see like that. Now you check for -1, Anas.
Okay, sir. So should
Not
I do
giving any
for zero
problem.
also? Yes, sir.
Anas,
Yeah, sir.
do one thing in your program. Continuously calculate the factorial till you don't want to exit.
Okay, sir.
समझे ना अभी तुमने 5 का किया फॉर एग्जांपल देन यू एग्जिट ना so you should not
So I
execute
should
such
add
things.
for loop. For loop,
You
na?
while loop if you want.
Okay, sir.
See to it.
Hello, sir. Can I share?
Yes, Anas. Anas Khan, run your program. I can see only one screen, that is your program. You share your entire screen so that whenever you're done, I can see the output as well. Stop sharing, then share your entire screen. Stop sharing. There will be a red symbol. Now you share your entire screen. Anas,
Sir, I have
voice भी कम है and once again you share your screen because I haven't seen your screen.
sir, now it is visible.
Only the now run it. Yeah. Anas, you're doing the mistake, I think. So. At the time of sharing, you are not sharing the entire screen. You are only sharing the program file. There is one option entire screen. Whenever you go into the share screen,
Yes.
there will be one option entire screen. Now
So
run.
now,
Run it. Now I can see both. Run your program. Okay, good. Once the meeting gets over, after 2 minutes, everyone rejoin it. Where
Yes, sir.
the problem is solved.
Yes.
So what is the problem?
So indentation was problem.
Okay. In that num less than 0, where num less than 0, in that part.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Now
may I share now?
yeah, share it. Yes. Okay, good. Fahad, have you made the changes? You are on mute. Once the meeting gets over, after 1 minute, everyone rejoin it. Ruhullah, Salim, Zoya, then Gupta Shivam, Tasneem, Zaid, Sonu,